the ultimate Viper Strike is so good against Ursa too. Like, this pick is extremely good. I really like Secret's draft just because of this last pick. I think it solved a lot of problems. The Nether Toxin is great against Huskar too. You remove the Berserker's Blood. Man, what a last pick. I'm feeling Secret just because of this hero. But that said, though, I think Vici Gaming not only drafted better in Game 1, I think they also played better. So if Vici can overcome the trouble in this game, I still think they can win this game, but just the draft, this Viper pick, has won me over super hard.
Well, a lot of it's going to come down to the laning phase too, right? Like how does VG then take the timing of this? If Ori doesn't feel as confident up against the Viper, you've then got Paparazzi. Like, how do you create the space if Ori's not going to have the momentum for Paparazzi to then be the unstoppable hero?
That's a very good question, Toby. I don't know. That's why I like the Viper pick.
Thanks, and
so the problem they have here is that Vici has no hero they want to put mid. Ursa gets destroyed by Viper. I mean, maybe he's fine for a level or two, but then he gets crushed later. Spectre, unplayable lane. Huskar, unfavorable lane, but playable, at least in the beginning. Yeah. So you got to put the Huskar mid regardless, and accept that this is going to be tough. And I think a lot of the pressure in this game is actually on the Ursa to do well in lane, get a dagger, and make fights. If they do manage to do that, the one thing Secret will be struggling with in this game is if they don't end the game, no matter how good this Viper pick is, if they can't transition it into ending the game, eventually Spectre wins Dota.
Yeah.
At least in this game.
Eventually.
Spectre will win late game.
Yeah. But getting there is going to be the real test. And looking forward to it, Team Secret. They need a win. They need something to keep them out of this bottom part and to drag Vici Gaming back down with them, because then they'll both end with 4-6 at the end of this round if it is a 1-1 result, keeping it very tight at the bottom of the group. But lanes come out. Not a surprise. Vada going towards the off lane. He's going to be teamed up with Yapsor. Ace to be the bottom lane. Tiny, and then mid 1 and Puppy teaming up together in the mid. They'll be going up against VG Gaming, who have Lanham and 11 down the bottom lane. So it's going to be Ursa Warrior and Shaman teaming up together. Ori will be going in towards the mid, early bracer for him to try and just tank through the lane. And then up on the top, Paparazzi will be taking the spec, and Fenrir along with him as the silencer. Yep.
I really feel like the lane to watch out for right now is mid, because I'm curious how it goes. It's just, intuitively for me, this is a bad lane for Huskar, and he will struggle. But I don't know when it happens and how bad it is. So I'm definitely looking out for that one. And then, of course, whatever lane Ursa's in, if he does get the matchup against Mirana, he will be or against the Tiny, rather, he will be very happy. So I think Secret will try to avoid this exact matchup. And Ace is currently swapping over.
Loving how aggressive both Lanham as well as 11 are being. Like, we're happy to invade all the way into your jungle.
And now it becomes a mind game.
Wait,
do you think they swapped or not?
How do they actually play? Because, yeah, they're kind of in limbo. Ace is finally coming up towards the top. The arrow will dodge it, and Lanham can just grab the rune. And actually, yep, he does exactly that. So that's 3 bounties. The only other one to be grabbed by Team Secret was Yapsor up at the top lane. Small victories.
And they're walking Ursa across. So at this point, Tiny is committed to being in the top lane. He's already walked all the way up here and is blocking the wave.
Yep.
And Ursa will be connecting up. So
here's the first TP out.
Vici Gaming get the lanes they want. If Secret swap around with TPs, they will follow them. Yep. This is already a good start for them. It's very important for Vici that this happens.
So then you look towards probably mid 1 a little bit harder against Ori to have a good advantage early on. And Ori didn't even go for the Burning Spears. He just went Berserker's Blood, level 1. So
Lanham's kind of just dying.
Did he just walk into it? Puppy's going to club him. And Lanham, he's got the distance. 14 HP. Ignite still on cooldown for the moment. Puppy won't commit too hard. They're going to fortify up just to balance out the lane. Same for the Radiant side. That's more of the mid battle going on. And Lanham stays in the trees. Goes for one more shock. Poppy does manage to actually hit him with the Ignite. I don't think they can catch up the rest of the way, however.
He should suicide to this neutral camp, I think, on the...
He's TPing home.
What?
Because Fenrir is now on the bottom lane.
I should still just suicide to the camp and then TP out.
TP top.
I think that's a fairly big mistake from Lanham, actually. He kind of just died by doing this.
Actually, I think Fenrir is dead. This should be the first blood. The Ignite, no! The Spectral Dagger. Puppy can't reach him for the last clubbing.
What you just saw happen, everything that happened bottom, is because Shadow Shaman started with boots, by the way. I think this build is super greedy, and I'm not a fan of it. Even Shaman, who really needs the move speed and benefits a lot from it. Nice leap from Fata, that's first blood.
Yeah.
Even Shaman who does that. You're playing with 3 tangos, man. You know? You get ignited, you get hit a couple times by the Ogre. Mirana hits you a couple times too. You're out of the lane. And it costs. Lanham is very low level right now and has to walk all the way top.
What is he even... No, he's here for the 2-minute rune to check it.
For the rune bottom.
And it's going to be a regeneration, so nice one for either Ori or mid one to grab. But Viper is just tanking through the burning spears of Ori while up on top lane. Ace teaming together with Yapsor. You walk into the tree line and you're kind of in Dark Willow's maze. Can't get back out of it. Lanham going after mid one, but does minimal damage. In fact, mid one with one more attack. Lanham, tick, tick, done. This is just VG falling apart.
It's not looking good. At least the mid lane for Ori looks pretty good, actually. For now.
For now.
He's doing fine. He's 10-7. Viper is 5-2. So Huskar has managed to build himself a little advantage. Oh, mid one overstepped his boundaries. I think he might die here.
Yeah, that burning spear. He doesn't have the life. He's got his salve coming out.
So low.
1 point in corrosive skin. The
so
10%
low.
resistance. 9. He just walks in.
It's like, okay, man.
I accept my fate. Can't gain anything else. Maybe could have got 1 point of experience before death.
Yeah, the problem is the curry is in use and it's walking. So he feels like dying is better in order to get experience. But man, has he lost this lane. I did not think it would be this bad.
Going after Ace. Lanham's coming in from the side. He's got Hex as well as the Ether Shock. Ace tosses him away, but the Avalanche, those 4 instances of damage just hit so hard into 11, so they turn their attention towards Lanham. The movement speed is with them. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Fata finds another kill onto Pamparasi.
Yeah, nice setup from Puppy there. They got the Fire Blast into Arrow combination and then Starstorm, and Puppy has gone for a 1-2 build. This is the maximal damage output you can have as Ogre on level 3, is skilling like this.
Wasn't this meant to be the lane setup that VG Gaming wanted?
Yeah, it was. But
Oops.
I think Lanham's itemization has hurt them quite a lot. I'm really not a big fan of starting with boots on any support in this patch.
He's come in and just been a little bit of a nuisance, but beyond this, like you look at the CS on the board and Team Secret, 17-14, 17-12, 17-12. Actually, that's the Husker. Like 7-4. Okay, it's the Viper who has a couple of problems. Damn. Ace. Problematic. Is there an Ether Shock still on cooldown for now? And Ace is back behind the tower.
Something is really telling me that mid lane should not be going like this. Like,
the Husker has 18-13 to the 8-4.
I really don't think it should be like this. And I know that when Viper hits 6, this gets troublesome for Huskar, because he can get Viper struck, and then he getting caught in the Nether Toxin, and then his passive doesn't work, so he just doesn't really do much damage. But this early laning from Ori, he must have outplayed him severely to get that big of a CS lead and so many denies.
Going for another kill onto Fenrir on the bottom lane. Silencer, no +2s for him. However, he does get the curse onto Fata, who'll leap and TP away. That's the only way to really 100% survive the damage. While up on top lane, Lanham runs into the tree line. Ace just goes straight past him. So does Yapsor. Lanham just with the moves. He'll stick charge and then TP out. Anyone got something? No one's got nothing.
That was a sexy juke. That was really, really good.
What is 11? Oh, 11's coming for the bounties. The clap to try and slow down Yapsor, so then you can still go for the run. And denies.
Yeah, well, that's still half a bounty rune in a way, because Secret didn't get it, right?
Yeah.
So even if he doesn't get it himself, that was still a good play from 11.
Fenrir's rotating in towards mid. He's going to try and go for this kill on mid one. That's why Ori, he doesn't actually have the life break. He went for a 2-3-1 build. So he can't just jump towards mid one.
Yeah, that's pretty uncharacteristic, I think, for Huskar to not skill ult.
Well, they're going again up on top. 11 in way too deep. He has no support near him, because Lanham is down in towards the mid lane. They're trying to go after mid one, but Fenrir revealed his position and the Observer Ward, because he cursed from range inside the trees, exactly on mid one.
I don't quite know what 11 is doing in this game.
He's tipping Ace for a good play.
Oh, well played.
Yeah.
Well, he's getting owned, so maybe he's being genuine. He's like,
no,
right.
I died to skill. I died for skill.
Because if these two side lanes were not going this bad, I thought this mid lane would be really, really hard. And, oh well, would at least not be Ori favored, but it is still. He's doing great, so that's good. But if their side lanes were going okay...
After 11, the Cursed Crown is going to connect as well. And Ace with the Avalanche, he doesn't have Toss, not enough mana for it, so he couldn't finish the job. 11 tries to turn around quickly. Does some heavy damage in towards Ace. Lanham just can't run through because there's Bramble everywhere. And on bottom lane, it's Fada to find Fenrir.
There's no Ursa in this game. Like, he is actually just really, really shut down. It's so strange, because this mid lane should not be going like this, and these side lanes should not be going like this. Like, everything is, like, upside down.
It needs Bramble, trigger,
just barely got
space
mana.
creation.
He's fine.
And Lanham. No, he's not fine. Lanham.
Oh, shock. Shocking.
Thanks, Sean.
Oh, that's Earthshaker.
Oh, I thought you were Connery. You sounded like Connery.
Thank you. I have heard that many women find that character attractive. Or that person, rather. So.
He is a character!
That is a compliment. Thank you very much.
Goodbye, Observer Ward. Fenrir is at least able to claim something extra for himself and level 3. Hard day at the office. And Ace will arrive, but Observer and Sentry for VG Gaming see him arrive hiding in the tree line. They will lose their own Observer. Fenrir just planted one on top.
Now we have this really awkward laning situation where Vici have 4 heroes top and 1 guy mid, and there's just an empty lane bottom because nobody wants to go there. Spectre's losing the lane. Ursa got crushed by the Tiny and Willow lane. I think, once again, I know I've talked about this a decent amount already, but the itemization early on with the boots on Shaman has... The top lane didn't go well in the beginning, but when they swapped around and rotated, Lanham was at too low level simply
the
to help the
Bramble's
Ursa.
out. Speaking of Lanham, he's got the Cursed Crown on him. Tiny can't get the combination off. Now he does with the Avalanche. He actually gets 2 heroes caught. Moonlight Shadow is up, and hello, Mirana. All that extra farm going to work. 11 doesn't have level 6 yet, so there's no win rate to try and protect himself from all the damage the Team Secret have to offer. Ace goes dominating, 4 kills for him. And Fada has an arrow off cooldown in 2 seconds time. They just come back in. Leap into Starfall with the toss-up. Paparazzi, Cursed Crown. They're still... Okay, he has the arrow back up thanks to the 1 charges. But Ace on the run. Lanham will get the shackles. Fada has to use the arrow to break him free. Lanham already able to dodge. And Ace shocks on him. So is the last word. He just has to outrun now. Curse comes off cooldown. The Avalanche buys him the space. Curse will still connect. But they are away to safety, Team Secret.
And slowly but steadily, the Viper is starting to do better in mid, I would say. It's still not looking good for mid 1, but he's coming back. And he honestly, he can be a liability in this game with how it went. He's
1.3k net worth behind Ori.
Yeah. You got to look toward Ori now if you're Vici Gaming to carry the game for a while. He needs to get this armlet. He needs to get into fights with all this magic damage that the Radiant team has and the very low physical. He should be able to stay alive very nicely with Berserker's Blood. Unfortunately, he has it level 1 right now, so he probably needs some more levels in that. And then join fights. Make space. Spectre and Ursa need a lot of time right now.
Fada going to go for YOLO arrow? No. They put Observer Wards down behind. Fada gets clipped by the curse, so goodbye clarity. But he was already full. And they TP around, so Mirana will finally head back down towards bottom lane, thanks to that Dire Observer Ward, which has only got another 20 seconds left on it. And we'll see Fada's rotation for the 10-minute bounty runes. And 11 just backs off. He knows he doesn't need to try and fight this. They're going to lose both runes on top because Yapsaw and Ace are there. And they look to cut through. Actually, they already have. Bramble, toss him in. Yapsaw goes for the kill. Using that ulti, Spirit just cuts through Paparazzi.
Nice play.
Bedlam going... Like, that's how you... Like, how many times do you actually see Bedlam use as an aggressive ability so early on? Tiny just makes it possible for Yapsaw.
Yeah. Generally hard for Willow to get into position to use this ability without items, but in this case, very easy.
They're going to try and kill Puppy. Lanham has an Invis rune. And 11 just needs to close the distance. Either that or he's trying to bait Puppy forward.
I gotta go now. His Invis is running out.
Oh, Puppy walks out. That'll make it work. And then but no! The arrow! The leap! He actually didn't enrage, so they're going to kill him off so quickly and then move towards Lanham. Fada is just everywhere on this map. Puppy will get the kill thanks to the Ignite. I love that as well, considering we'll be talking about numbers most of this this part of the stream.
Nice.
Nice, 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 nice.
Well,
Avalanche, no toss, just chipping away at Paparazzi, who just has very little life to work with anyway.
the story of this game right now is that Vici can't make moves, right? Because Ursa and Spectre are very underfarmed, very under-itemized. And Huskar is the guy who's strong, so I think what you do in this situation is you start playing around your Huskar. You bring the fight to him
Oh, they're
Put the
doing
last
it.
Serpent Wards in that mid tower and start forcing Secret to fight the Huskar.
Oh,
Bring
here
in
they
the
come.
Haunt.
They're smoked up. Fenrir as well as Lamb together. Fenrir is level 3 12 minutes into this game.
That is actually ridiculous.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yes.
god, I didn't realize that. That is the lowest level at minute 12 I think I've
And he
seen
hit.
this patch.
Oh, they're going to find mid one. But then again, who's really found to? They have to mass up him or trap him, hold him with
Nice
the
kill.
shackles, and they'll be able to get the kill. Hey, here's level 4.5. Fenrir goes up in the world, but at the same time, Ursa dies. Underneath this tier 2 tower, Fada as well as Puppy, they cop a lot of damage, but they look their attention towards the mid lane. Puppy's the first one to come in. So is Dark Willow. This Bramble's going to be really difficult to negotiate. Ori, how does he get back out of this one? The Hex is on Tiny, so there's no instant combination to kill him off, but the physical damage is still more than enough. Yapsor with kills. They chase down Lanham. You've got level 6, but he's got no more abilities, no more mana, no more life.
Ori can't fight with this skill build either. I'm very surprised by a lot of things that are happening in this game.
He went
I've said it a lot of
3-4-1-1.
times. If you have 1 point Berserker's Blood, your magic resistance is like negligible right now in these fights. It's like you get 20% when it's maxed. That's a cloak and a bit. You're still gonna die. And I know you're playing against Nether Toxin, but you have to play to the chance that you find a fight where Viper is dead or that Viper isn't in.
Yeah.
Else you're just not
food.
Huskar. He's actually just not a Huskar right
Is
now. it feels like.
Yapsor, like, Mr. Level 9 Dark Willow trying to solo the level 9 spec? Which is almost possible. Spectre is actually going for a blade mail.
Dude, Secret's so far ahead.
Yeah.
My god. This is crazy.
They are 7,000 gold in front, 13 minutes in, and it is climbing.
Yeah. We're in
have-
the territory where Secret need to mess up a decent amount to...
You have a 7-0-3
get Vici back in the game.
Marana KDA. And now they're going to
Yeah.
find another target. Well, it may be a little bit more. Leap him. Arrow into Starfall. That's all the extra damage they require. And I like how he even waits to get the kill with the Starfall. The Golden Ram Fada he got to be as he takes the kill. 8 in a row now.
He's going to push out the mid wave as well and probably look to... I'm imagining Secret want to rotate top and take this tier 2 tower. There's nothing stopping them right now from just taking more and more and grabbing more advantage on the map. As I said, this kind of lead minute 14 and what heroes they're up against is extremely one-sided. And Vici Gaming, they've got to get Silencer level 6, man. Like, he needs 6, and then they need to find a team fight where Huskar and Ursa are hitting stuff while there's global.
I don't think Huskar can hit anything because of the horrendous start they've had. Maybe they can get Ace on top lane. But no, actually, they can't. Because of the terrible start they've had, Yapsor is so close to completing up the Spirit Vessel. And once this is here, Huskar can just do very little.
He can always jump in and global. That will always be a play for them, or, well, for a while, at least, that will be a play for them.
Puppy. Oh, hang on. Just out of range. Fire Blast. Huskar walked out of it. As
Bounty
the arrows
runs
don't
are
connect on mid.
spawning. It looks like Secret have everything on lock.
Yeah. Yapsor's got the bottom, and you've got
Four
Ace
runs.
on top duty. And you've got Fada still looking for that. He found him. Arrow, make sure there's no global silence, and actually it won't even happen anyway. Fada, 9-0-3 on this Marana. Just about, in fact, has completed up the Maelstrom. 15 minutes into the game. Tiny has his Blink Dagger, so they got initiation, they got mixed damage. And it didn't even matter that mid one had a bad start. He's almost on the same. He's almost at the same net worth as Yapsor.
To be completely blunt, he's barely needed to play the game.
Yep.
Actually,
Oh,
he's
Lanham.
barely needed to do
Oh,
it.
Lanham. That's not where he wanted to come. The Global Silence comes out, and maybe with the Spectral Haunt they can find something here. The Shackles, Lanham will end up surviving through this corrosive skin. Makes it a little bit more challenging for him to do so, but it's a 1-for-1 trade-off. Avalanche, Blink, toss in. They go after 11. Ursa enrages up, hits into Puppy, but he can't finish the job, and the arrow connects onto Paparazzi, but it doesn't stop Ori from jumping into the fight. Fada,
Fada, what are you doing?
He's underneath the wards! He wanted to get a Starfall off, he wanted something. Lanham is still alive!
Oh, boy, that was not... Yeah, whoops. That's what I was thinking, too. That was not the play. He leaped next to the Mass Serpent wards and got hexed, and then shackled. Ouch. That hurts. That's a little bit of a big swing. Silencer got the kill, so he got boots and claws of attack. Wait, what? He bought blades? Okay, interesting. I guess he's going to go phase boots on Silencer now.
Wait, no, but he's still got treads in his quick buy.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. They're probably changing it to phase soon.
Alright.
But that was what they needed, right, Vici Gaming? They needed a fight where they were fighting around Huskar, they got the Global off, they got the Haunt off, and they got the Serpent Wards off. And Secret made a mistake. Like, all of those things combined made this fight possible.
And now money starts to arrive. Items start to arrive.
They're getting a bit, so we're going to see it here, yeah.
It jump. So Lanham goes in, you're like, oh god, he's just balled this up, but then gets the wards, paparazzi arrives so quickly, and they could just isolate mid-1 from the fight. Never got Nether Toxin off.
And Secret could cut the fight there if they wanted, but...
And we're coming back live as paparazzi is currently haunting Ori. Right behind with the Moonlight Shadow. Hits on the fire hits on the fire blast. Now they toss him back over again. Nether Toxin did come down. They tossed him out of it, however. So Huskar can stand for a little bit longer, but Fenrir can't do much more. With no global silence, this just becomes a run. No more leap charges for Fada, so he cannot catch up to the silencer. But it's still a kill to move then into a push onto the tier 2 tower.
It's the biggest hero on Vici Gaming's side, and they, like you said, get the tower too. So nice move from Secret. Simple stuff, just works. And they grab this tower. And I think the next move for Secret is probably to get the mid-tier 2 whenever they can. Roshan is not really an easy task for their lineup, and that's like an area where they can throw away a big mistake. So, or throw away a big lead, rather. They can make a big mistake. Better off just playing the safe and riding their advantage. Not by going back to farming, but by taking the safer fights that, if they fail, ruin the game less for them. Because they technically can kill Roshan, it just takes so damn long that it becomes obvious, and who knows what happens in the pit.
They're just getting good information. That Observer Ward has now seen both the Shaman as well as the Silencer, so long range arrow and catch! 120!
Oh, he caught it.
He did. There was literally no follow, though.
No.
They're still staring down the Huskar, who does have a decent amount of life. That's 1900 HP they have to get through.
Well,
with armlet turned off.
Yeah.
And they're getting more space for paparazzi. He's got the Blade Mail. He can potentially Spectral Haunt out of this as well. So now you've got both Ursa as well as Spectre farming on the side lanes, uncontested. And Team Secret have 4 heroes, make it 5 heroes trying to push this mid lane.
This is taking a bit longer than it should, I think, for Secret. I think they're a bit too hesitant.
They still have Fortification too, Vici. Lanham through the side, the Global Silence, Mass Serpent Wards. They're looking for another lockdown, and they want to make sure this Viper is nothing, and Viper is absolutely nothing. Bedlam is good into the Terrorize, forcing VG Gaming to unwillingly run away. Spectre did jump in. The Blade Mail Team Secret almost killed themselves, but 11 need to jump 3 seconds before he can do it, and no, I take it back. Ace gets the jump first. His blink was off cooldown first, and now VG Gaming, they'll lose 4. It looks like a great start.
God, no.
Ori's war-trapped! He's actually war-trapped inside of his own team's Mass Serpent Wards. It can't be any worse than this. My lord!
That's what happened. It's like, where is Huskar?
Not like this.
So they ward-trapped the Viper, and he used Life Break on the Viper into the wards. So he was stuck in there the whole fight. Did he not have TP ready? He could have TP'd next to his tower and then run down afterwards. He was literally just stuck the whole fight. He couldn't move. Because that... So, look at this opening. This doesn't look that bad for the Dire, right? So they get in, they get the Hex.
So he life breaks into the Mass Serpent Wards. He does exactly that, and then actually pushes the Viper out almost. And then, yeah, he's trapped. He's not involved in any of this. And his teammates can't help him to get out of this.
They could back now. They could be like, okay, guys, we butchered that. That's not good. And now they run in.
And they lose 11 and land him almost instantly.
They're actually just giving bonus kills while...
Is this the communication? Like, did Huskar just... Ori had to scream out, guys, stop!
Dude, guess what Huskar just did? He just bought phase boots. He's like, Lanham. I've had enough. So, no. If you guys aren't going to listen to me when I say back, I'll solve it myself. I'll get phase boots.
Oh. That's so painful.
I think he had TP in that fight. That was so strange. It looked like full-on panic. And you imagine that fight for Vici Gaming where Huskar gets to fight after the first jump?
Yeah.
That could have actually worked out really well, but that was such a big loss for them. Wow. They lost 4 heroes, which could have been 1. Remember, they could have called the fight and been like, okay, Huskar can't join, let's back off. take the trade of Spectre for Viper. It's not great, but it's okay. Instead, they lost 4 heroes, they lost a tower, and they lost Roche.
I just like
so
how
this
like,
is big stuff.
It's just such a crazy thing. Vici Gaming, they start the fight the way they wanted. The last couple of times, it's always the Viper to die. They focus him down, and that's when you're actually seeing the Shaman Lanham doing the job, the exact job he's looking to do. But it's just a nightmare now. They're jumping in. Spectral Horns available, so Spectre can come into this fight whenever he wants. He wants to push the bottom lane, however. With Bedlam up, Ori as well as Lanham forced to the front lines to just get rid of the creep wave. And a nice big curse. Slow him down. They'll fortify quickly.
They're buying all the time they can for Paparazzi right now.
Yep.
And this siege is actually not that easy. They can get Ward Trapped, Globalist online again. All the spells are back.
Look how scared Paparazzi is too. The TP's coming in. It's Tiny. He needs a jump. And there it is. Toss. Avalanche, he can Spectral Horn quickly and then potentially jump up to top, but he can also just dagger, leap, 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 and arrow. Go
They
east,
don't see him.
And then TP away. A good escape, and they hold on to their tier 3 tower on top.
He
Vici
bought
by time.
so much time with that play. That's pretty much half the
Oh,
Aegis
they're smoking to fight.
when they get back up there.
They're actually smoking to fight. Moonlight Shadow's on cooldown for the
Ooh.
moment. They want to come out, and 11 will find a target.
There's no Huskar with them. He has to TP on the Shrine when this fight breaks out. He needs to be there from the beginning.
Okay. There's 4 heroes right on top of each other on top.
Fata has a 10-second BKB.
They're walking into him.
Oh, they walked away. Imagine they stay there.
They still don't have Huskar. They still don't have him. Underneath the tier 2 tower, now the arrow flies forward. It'll hit a creep only. They get the Cursed Crown over on Paparazzi. Terrorize, try and push them all away in the Avalanche toss. Ace in the right lines. Mass Open Wards are in the middle of the fight. As 11 is able to enrage up, you get the buyback out from the Shaman. They need his disable, but with it, Team Secret, they disengage or they just change targets. Shadow Shaman, you just came back to this fight. A full dieback from Lanham.
What is happening?
I don't know.
Ori just TP'd on his tier 3 tower or something and started running all the way. There's a tier 2 next to them. There's a shrine. The Huskar never joined the fight. He had to run so far to connect to them. Lanham buys back, runs down, runs in, uses Shackle and Viper. None of his teammates are nearby. Like, what is actually going on in their team communication in this game? This looks like they're just completely disconnected from each other.
They look connected in game.
This is not normal Vici Gaming execution that we're seeing right here.
Yeah.
That is...
What happened to the VG Gaming that started today? What was the VG Gaming that actually won game 1 against Team Secret? Was it really just like, hey, our draft was just a little bit stronger and Team Secret couldn't find the answer to it?
I don't know, it's just... I'm honestly very surprised. This looks so... For a team that's on the up today with a 4-1, this looks really, really disconnected and just poorly executed. I was expecting them to maybe have a hard time because of their early laning stage, but they actually were looking to have signs of life. This miscommunication between the Huskar and the team and
they're jumping mid.
Everything just... It hurts them real bad.
Paparazzi has friends nearby with the Moonlight Shadow. All Paparazzi can do is just move off to farm the Trinity camp. But the waves are pushing in.
Oh, Paparazzi's buying Hood. Interesting. It's a late Hood. He has Blade Mill and was working on a Manta, but probably feels like it's going to be too little too late, so we'll get a smaller item.
They still have this Aegis for a while.
Yeah. This push is really hard to hold now, because now Secret have a double damage on Mirana.
Arrow. Arrow! 5 seconds stun on Lanham. Stay, stay, sit, stay.
They got nothing more than the tower, though. They're
But
respecting...
it allows them to take the shrines. It's going to remove this out of position the VG game. So there's no way that they could ever try and contest Roshan. There's a double damage rune on Fada. So maybe, they did want a little bit more than this.
They show a lot of respect to what Vici Gaming's lineup can do defensively, but...
Oh, VG's coming out. They're smoked up heavily.
Huskar BKB.
Well, they see Puppy. They do...
That's actually a really big item here.
Not see Puppy. They're running across the river and up towards the Ancients. And the Radiant Scam, they feel like something is coming. Remember, Spectral Haunt is up and available. And they'll run down. Oh, okay, they see Fada. He leaps into them. They need the Hex. Fada got the BKB off into the sound. Oh, okay, there is Global Silence. They can control him on that front, but it's underneath the shrine. The VG Gaming try and fight this one. The ward trap is good. It's over on Puppy, but mid one, he'll break his Aegis the Immortal. Ace is waiting for the jump in. He's just sitting in the river, and now here he comes. Avalanche, he actually got the toss off too. And you can say goodbye to the Spectre, but the chase is on. Huskar wants to fight. They break him out because he's in the Nether Toxin, and Yapsaur is the one to get the mega kill streak. of course, it's Yapzor. Spectra take the regeneration rune. Has to get rid of the Observer Ward first. Viper jumps forward. They were chasing down Fenrir, but now with the Avalanche toss, Lanham is gone. And, well, Paparazzi goes back in again. Tries to use the Blade Mail to get something back, and he did get mid one. It's the consolation prize. It's the box of chocolates. It's the Wheel of Fortune board game.
That ends up... It's all about the area of the fight, right? They get in with the smoke, but Fata reacts fast enough, gets the BKB off. They're fighting under the shrine, like you said. It's just a really bad spot fighting into an Aegis there, which was about to expire, by the way. They chose this fight. They ran into them while Aegis was up in one of the absolute worst spots on the map to fight in, and they did not get the jump. And still, that fight actually looked somewhat competitive. Like, imagine this in a better position for Vici Gaming. Even with a 15k deficit, this could have worked, but they're making it... I feel like they're making some decisions that makes it very, very difficult for themselves. Fighting in that specific area is tough.
We get to see it again.
So see, they walk in, and they pop all BKBs.
Shrine's already triggered. Fata just walks off, and he was the one being initiated on from the very start.
And the guy that Ward Trap is an Ogre, who they do kill, and that's nice, but...
He already did everything he wanted to do. Like, he ignited, multicast, he got his stuns off, and he bought some space for mid one just to sit up on the hill, reposition, and Huskar is by himself. Paparazzi can't even stand in this. Like, he's standing inside the Nether Toxin. We'll get to come back to the world of the live, and that's when they jump in. Ace gets initiation. Ori instantly deleted, and Lanham almost catching another arrow, but they leap forward far to look at that attack speed and the repositioning. Fenrir hunted down like a dog.
And now it's 30 seconds on these two.
That's...
Secret still can't... I don't know if they get a lane of racks here still. Like,
they have Catapult with them.
There's Glyph. Tiny's definitely dealing good damage with the Bloodlust as well.
Lanham can put down defensive wards.
I think he has to save them for the fight, actually.
Yeah, he does. But Ether Shock something. He's so scared to go in range. The Blink Dagger from Ace is just going to wreck him. It's just too easy to go for the combination.
Yep, they get the tower. But this,
so 8 seconds still Huskar.
Is fightable.
Spectral Haunt. Looking into the back lines as Dark Willow's already on the run, and they are getting a lot of damage. Puppy, he's dying very, very quickly. Ace wants to turn around, goes for the stun. There's your Terrorize. Blade Mail is up on Paparazzi, and oh boy, you actually almost had him kill themselves. The Absol was doing it. That was the Bedlam that was about to murder himself. Ori, oh, this is his time to clean up. He needs the vision, however. They're under the cover of Moonlight Shadow. Team Secret TP out. Now, are we having another fight where the only person to really die is Puppy?
Yep. And a couple of VG Gaming heroes and a buyback.
Yep. Yeah. They got the range racks.
And
it wasn't the melee, but
so what's happening in this fight is that they stress about their racks falling, obviously, as they should. They should be defending this. So they haunt and they jump in with the Ursa, but Shadow Shaman was never in range for that fight, so he didn't get the Serpent Wards off. This was a really long team fight without mass Serpent Wards, and the moment Huskar spawns, can TP in and join the fight's already over, because he had 5 or 10 seconds on his respawn. It's a really awkward moment, because you don't really want to start that fight while Huskar's dead, but if you wait that little bit longer, you could have lost the melee racks too.
It's almost that moment too when you wish you had something like a Glimmer Cape, or at least like the Shadow Amulet. He has the money for it, but he's going for an Ether Lens on Lanham to just get the range for the Hex.
Yeah, but it's a really good item.
Some level of position pressure. It's just not there. Fenrir as well as Lanham are so intimidated by the initiation that if they don't have raindrops, they feel like they're just going to instantly die.
I definitely think Lens is the right item on Shaman this game. He needs the cast range. It's super big. If he gets level 15 and the Lens, you basically get, what's that, 375 cast range? Mm-hmm. It's a world of difference. Makes it super easy to get a Hex. It makes it super easy to get the Ward Trap off, and that has a huge impact on these fights. And he's kind of free to cast the spells during Global, so...
Yep, sword checks at just the right time. So they go in for Roshan. Fata completes a full MKB. So he's getting more, and Vici Gaming are grouping up like they want to try and contest something, but they are way too late. Roshan's already dead. They'll walk into middle, and now, well, if we go with Vici Gaming's normal thing, they don't back off from this, they just go in for a fight. But it looks like they're going to back off.
Yep, that Manta Star on Paparazzi could be big in this coming fight. He didn't finish the hood earlier that we were looking at. He still he continued his path toward the Manta. If he gets his next item on the Spectre, this is still possible. It's kind of similar to the EG game that we watched earlier against LGD, where we were saying it is possible. It's really hard, but it is possible. All this takes is a really bad fight from Team Secret, where Paparazzi has maybe a defusal here, or even with the items that they have. I still feel like the execution of the fights has just not been very good, and if they do everything correctly, even with this 25k disadvantage, it is still a possible fight to take. But it's definitely getting harder and harder as Secret keep mounting this advantage. And they are looking to probably go and siege mid, or just go for the melee Rex bottom first. We'll see.
Just push in the mid and then bounce Miranda in through bottom. That's maybe even enough to get the racks. A little risky to do so, though.
Vici has really good vision for a team that's getting crushed. Like, they have 3 good defensive wards out.
Those sentry wards, though, they planted during the bottom fight. But yeah, you're right. The obs position is really nice.
They have really good obs. Secret, do they have a gem to buy? I think they do. They have a huge advantage.
No gem in inventory, and they definitely haven't bought one this game.
That's a bit surprising. Like, look at Puppy, how rich he is.
Yeah.
On this Ogre. He has...
He's been going 90 gold per minute. Oh, they found an opening. Jumping forward towards Ace. The arrow is right on target. Lanham has to move to avoid it. Ace has to use the cheese. And now Global Silence is out with the Mass Serpent Wards. It's in a good position. Aegis and Cheese both gone. Ori wants to fight. The Moonlight Shadow. Did someone bring detection for this? The Hex. It's onto the Mirana. They got another big curse off, but they've lost Husker. There's no way to move forward. They're using Paparazzi's clones through the meta style to try and survive and toss him. And a double kill for Ace! Hits the money shot! Lanham and Paparazzi gone and dusted.
That was a really good attempt, but again, the advantage is so extreme. Aegis, Cheese, and 30k gold, and they got them pretty low, and they got it.
Yep.
They did what they could, but this is going to be the hard one to hold.
Cursed Crown at 11. He was actually running towards Fenrir saying, please hug me. I'm cursed. This mid-Rax is going down quickly. I don't know what this Spectre buyback can really achieve apart from delaying the tier 4 towers. They need to wait another 12 seconds before they can fight. They actually need the Shaman's disable in order to fight.
They're okay with starting with Huskar, I think.
Oh, Huskar's up. He's running in, and Ace starts it instead. 11! Where was he? He just got deleted again. Ori wants another jump. It's a good curse. They're all slowed up, but Ace just turns around. Toss off back off cooldown, and they just silver edge him up. Knock off any kind of control, and GG, well played. Team Secret will get a draw in the series after losing Game 1 to VG Gaming, and this keeps both of these teams on the bottom part of the bracket, rubbing shoulders with Newbie.
Still, it's a really important win for Secret, this one. If they were to lose this game, they would have been in a tough spot. It's still early to call because there's many games to be played, but I think with this win, Team Secret keep their hopes alive of maybe bringing it back and getting into the winner bracket. It is still possible with 6 losses. I believe now they're currently 4-6, right?
Yeah, they're actually Newbie actually got a victory as well against Team Serenity. So if they actually 2-0, then you have Team Serenity, Team Secret, and yeah, hang on.
What can they... Theoretically, Secret can still go 9-6, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no, they can go 10-6. There's 16 games, yeah?
Yep.
Oh, that's doable. If they stabilize and grab some more wins here on out, or they can maybe even drop 1 or 2 games and still possibly make number 4. But, yep, they do pull it back. So, what's our standings in the group? Is this updated?
Yeah, this looks like it's totally updated.
Okay, so Secret is still... No, it's not, because they just got the win. But
okay.
Secret with 4-6, Vici Gaming 4-6. That's currently tied for 4th, actually. But there's teams below them that have played less games, and minimum one of them will overtake them.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was quite the game. It was a strange game, honestly, for me to watch because I think there were so many, I want to say clowny things that happened in the game. That, like Huskar getting stuck in the Serpent Wards, the way he skill built, the way the lanes went. Like going back to the beginning, Huskar destroyed Viper, which I still stand by that it shouldn't be this one-sided. I think Viper is fine in that matchup and even wins it later. The side lanes from Vici Gaming went horribly wrong. The itemization on them to start with boots, I think, was super greedy and cost them.
But then Vici started actually getting the best initiations to start the fight off because they deleted Viper. They deleted the ability to destroy the passives, but then they still lost the fight.
Yeah, they were just so far behind. Like, if this game is not this magnitude of advantage with like 25k at the time that it was that, or even the time when Secret were up 8k, it's so early in the game that the item and experience advantage is almost insurmountable. Because Vici Gaming's fights were close, actually. They were close, a lot of them, while they were horribly far behind. So you just imagine, let's say the lanes go 20% better. Like, they still lose them, but they go better. Who knows? But they got trashed, man.
Yeah, they
They-
really did.
Ori-
Ace was 17-1-5. Fada was 15-1-21. My God, if you had either of these guys in your fantasy team, you're a very happy person.
Only Ori for Vici Gaming had a lane. The other
Yeah.
4 heroes had a horrible time. Soundseer was level 3, minute 12.
11 actually went 113.
Yeah. 11 was 0-4-0 in lane. Huskar was the only guy with a laning stage, and then when he started fighting, the fights went wrong. So they couldn't even use his strength.
No.
It's just a tough one, man. Like, bad games happen. But Vici just dropped the ball in so many aspects, and then when they actually took their fights well and show what they can do, it was just too hard. Secret, on the other hand, crushed them in lanes, built a big advantage. Probably didn't play the fights clean either, because else I think this should have been crisper from them if they want to be a top team in this group. But you know, they got their job done. So
Yeah,
it's all good.
they keep themselves out of the bottom position in the group.
Yes.
They stay in contention to get into the playoff bracket, and that's all every team is fighting for at the moment. Make sure they at least reach the main event so they can prove themselves on the TI stage. And of course, we'll be back tomorrow. This is actually the last game of this stream today, so we'll be back again tomorrow for more Dota action. I think we'll personally be on stream 4. We're stream 4ing tomorrow. We have
We are.
We have win strike games for them to win and just change.
Strike.